Hey everybody, welcome back to another news roundup. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Just got a couple of topics for today. Nothing too noteworthy, just a few things here and there. Just little news stories just to talk about. So it's gonna be kind of a light week today. Light week this week, sorry. Um, yeah, so let's just dive right on in. So the Cannes Film Festival is going on right now. I believe it is wrapping up pretty soon. There's one thing that happened from the festival. Well, two things actually. The other thing we'll discuss later on. But first story I want to talk about is regards to some sales that have happened at the festival, because it's not only a place to screen films, there's also a market there where they sell films to distributors, potential distributors. And according to Variety, who was reporting from the Cannes Film Festival, the market for foreign language remakes, specifically brought over to the North American market, was growing in the numbers by the sales and the pitches in that particular market. Currently, just generally as a just a general fact, one of the more notable remakes within that specific category is another round, which is being developed by Chris Rock. I have no idea why, but I think it's great as it is. I potentially starring Leonardo DiCaprio as well, but foreign language films, or remakes of foreign language films, are developing a bigger market, it seems. And my response to that is, well, yeah, duh. Of course, there's more of these remakes happening and more of a market for these remakes because it's an established market and it's proven success. And the essence of doing a remake is to replicate, if not capitalize on the success of the original by business standards. So I'm not surprised at all, considering the current market and what Hollywood is willing to invest into these days. We talked about last week also about how the indie scene seems to be taking a back seat in terms of Hollywood's mainstream culture, generally speaking, or just with the investors in Hollywood specifically. They seem to be not so focused on investing or distributing smaller projects, but perhaps as a caveat, something like this would be the exception to that, because again, there's a proven market, an established market already for these kinds of projects. Because like we've said before, unless there's a proven market for it, Hollywood can't afford at the current moment to bet on original concepts. They don't want, as someone in this article actually put nicely, they don't want Hollywood. They don't want development money. They want easy money right now. So they don't want to be making risky bets right now. They don't want to be doing that. So they want easy and fast money. Hence why they're more confident betting on projects like these due to their established history. So it just makes sense, and it again just feeds more into what we've been discussing before about Hollywood becoming more and more specific, and it's just currently as it is, because before it'd be a big stink and people would be very very against that idea. I was against that idea, if you were talking to me in 2018, 2019, but now that the market has changed and economically speaking, financially speaking, it is just not the same. They need this stuff. They need to make more money, and if easy money is easy, go where it's easy. Don't try to make it harder for yourself. So yeah, it just makes sense. It just makes sense with the current landscape for cinema and Hollywood in general, with what they're looking to invest into. Next story we're going to talk about is with regards to Godzilla X Kong. There's a sequel that is officially in the works. Who will not be returning, though, is the director, Adam Wingard, who recently directed both Godzilla vs. Kong and then Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. He will not be returning for the follow-up. He has set his sights on his next project entitled Onslaught, which is being distributed by A24 and is planning to shoot this fall. So when you read into it, it sounds like Warner Brothers wants to fast track the sequel. I get why, because the film turned a profit and did well. Likely for a 2026, 2027 release at the latest, 2027. And it seems like Wingard was already committed to the project at A24, was basically given an ultimatum. You either work on this or you go work on that. And he chose to go work on his piece at A24. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that tone that he's established will still be maintained. You know, the goofy, cheesy atmosphere. I like it for what Godzilla is. I think that it works in its favor. That just ridiculous quality. I think Godzilla X Kong is kind of the epitome of that, you know, and I think it's just gonna might go downhill. You know, I said in my review, I think that Godzilla X Con is probably the last, should be the last, but it won't be. We're gonna get more, so. But it'll be interesting to see if that tone is maintained or if it'll morph into something different. But we'll just have to wait and see. All right, the big story for this week is with regards to Deadpool and Wolverine. Tickets are now on sale, and marketing campaign is in a full swing, in full effect with commercials, sponsors, gags. There's that beer commercial that I saw online, which was actually fairly funny. Tracking to do over 100 million globally on opening weekend, which, by the way, would not be the first time that that's happening this year. Some journalists are misreporting that, saying that, oh, this is going to be the first film this year that crosses 100 million on its opening weekend. No, Planet of the Apes did that, so no, that's just not true. The reason why we're bringing this up, Deadpool and Wolverine, because I don't care for the film really, but there's a article that came out from Hollywood Reporter, and Fandango also brought this up. Apparently, Deadpool and Wolverine sold a quote-unquote, I say quote-unquote, record-setting number in first-day ticket sales, amounting to roughly $8 to $9 million in revenue, and making it the highest sales so far in 2024. Now, here's the thing. This is based solely on first-day sales, meaning only taking into consideration the day the tickets went on sale. This is just a moot point. I mean, seriously, this is just a big fucking moot point, if you ask me. Because maybe Disney, like, what's the point of addressing the first day sales? Like, really, what's the big deal? Like, okay, like, it's the fastest selling for an R-rated film. Yes, but only in those 24 hours. It's not talking about its general sales. I mean, of course, you're going to make more on the first day, but that doesn't mean it's generally doing well. It's just, you know, that metric, that record that was being set is just completely nonsensical. Maybe Disney isn't too happy with those initial sales, and that's why the story's out here. Like, it's just, I don't understand why this is being brought up or why this is noteworthy. Like, nowadays, it seems people just wait till the week it comes out to buy their ticket. Because I looked online, it's not really selling that well. I mean, I've not seen any full theaters in my area. There's still many seats available, so I think this is just an overreaction based on how 2024 has been going, and it's like trying to further market the film in hopes to gain more sales by gloating about some quote-unquote records being set. Because being the best in 2024 isn't saying much. It's expected that this would sell. I mean, of course. I mean, this is hopefully going to be a big money maker come July, but I don't think these numbers are noteworthy. I mean, if anything, I'm surprised it's not double or triple digits in those types of ticket sales. And considering the potential for this film, what it could do, you know, all this tells me basically is that Thursday night is looking good. Like, you know, that's basically what that's telling me, is that Thursday night is doing fine. But, you know, maybe Disney's concerned. I don't know. But I think it's set up to do some good business when it comes out. I don't think anyone's doubting that. I think it's going to do well. The only thing, obviously, with all these films that you have to consider is the budget. How much is the budget? I guarantee you it's going to be huge because they're rolling out marketing now, which is 2 months prior to the release, with the stars participating in the marketing as well. plus the production cost on its own. So, I mean, production cost is one thing, but if we're talking about all together, I'm guessing this is at least a $200 million investment or something in that range. So we'll see if it has strong legs. I think it might do well. I mean, I think it's going to do well. I just don't know how well, Who knows? It really comes down to the budget. So I have confidence. I think that it will do well. But I think just talking about the story, though, it's just silly to release these numbers. There's no reason to do so. I think my theory is that Disney might be concerned. That's the only reason I can think of why these numbers are out here. It's just to further market the film and hopefully gain more sales. But yeah. So I think it's going to do great. I think it's going to do really good. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's talk about Megalopolis once again because we just can't get enough of Megalopolis on this channel, apparently. This was the other story that happened at the Cannes Film Festival. So coming out of the festival and also a fairly awkward premiere, Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis has obtained further distribution in the foreign market, including in regions of Australia, Bulgaria, Greece, Hungary, Israel, Portugal. I'm surprised they got Israel, Portugal, and a couple others, of which I can't pronounce, so I'm not going to mention them. So, still no word yet on any U.S. distribution for the film. And like we've said before, I think that this is where the film will remain. I think that it will remain in the foreign market. I think it will continue to collect distribution in these smaller regions, but it's not going to enter the North American market in a large theatrical medium. Maybe with a limited release, like a weekend or something, potentially through IMAX, because IMAX has already lended their support or has voiced their support for the film. But remember, the investors in the U.S., they walked away from that test screening that they had done a few months ago. So they're not going to cave in. They're not interested. So I think that the future for this film, honestly, is a VOD release. If you're asking me about the North American market, I think that it's either going to be that limited theatrical release, like a weekend or something, or it's a VOD release. As I think, like between the two, that's probably the more likely in terms of an entryway into that market. You charge a premium price and you do all these things with the hopes to make up cost versus with a limited release window where you only have a weekend in. So, or maybe they get both, who knows? But yeah. This is not hyperbole when I say this. I mean, this is going to bomb. This absolutely is going to bomb. It's going to damage his career. And yeah, considering just word of mouth right now, people just really not liking it. And the prospect potentially this being his last film, it's just an awkward situation and a bit unfortunate, really. So yeah, so I don't really see a bright future in the North American market for this. And just financially speaking, it's going to get into a lot of trouble. So there you have that. All right, let's get into a story revolving around Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg is working on a new film. Lined up a new project with Universal Pictures with a release date for May 15th, 2026. Universal Pictures has backed many of Steven Spielberg's films in the past, and this film is being described as a, quote, new original event film, and it's reportedly focusing on a UFO story. So, Spielberg's latest work includes West Side Story back in 2021, which I actually, not to toot my own horn, but just, I don't know if I ever mentioned it before, but I actually I saw the audition sheet for the West Side Story. This was when I was doing the whole acting thing back then. But I remember catching that. It was interesting. I think it was when Ansel Elgort got involved, and but nobody else was involved yet. Not Rachel Zegler or nothing like that. So, but yeah, I didn't know anything about West Side Story back then. Also, um, so yeah, and I can't sing for shit, and I can't act for shit. So yeah, so yeah, I didn't. Yeah, but yeah, it was a funny thing. I just remembered. I was like, oh yeah, right, West Side Story. Um, but but yeah, he also did The Fablemans back in 2022, which I enjoyed. I didn't. Well, just also to mention, I didn't really like the West Side Story remake that they did. I love the original, but don't. I think that the remake was not so good. But really enjoyed The Fablemans a lot. Um, so yeah, so Spielberg's got a new film coming out. I am game for anything Spielberg. It's nice to see him graduating out of his political phase because he was like on a roll with like politically motivated features for like the past few years. He did like Bridge of Spies. Yeah, did Lincoln. He did that journalistic. He did touched on journalism with the Post. So he was on a roll for a little bit. So it's good to see him returning to his roots with his like magical like spirit. So, but yeah, really enjoyed Fablemans. Not much with West Side Story. Fablemans, I think, was a great swan song for him. So, so if that would have been his last film, I would have been perfectly fine with that because I thought a really solid film. But I'm interested in seeing a story of UFOs. I mean, really love Close Encounters. So yeah, so as long as we're not getting another Indiana Jones, sign me up. I'm game for anything Spielberg. So yeah. All right, we got one trailer to discuss for today, and we've discussed this film many times, but now we actually have an official trailer for it, so no little 50-second clips or anything like that. Let's talk about Longlegs for a second, because we talked about Longlegs before on this channel a couple times regarding the marketing campaign, how deceptive it is, and we have an official trailer now, so it's not just like a 50-second blurb or like just like a stylistic flirt. It's an official trailer talking about the story, and spoilers ahead for anybody who doesn't want to be spoiled on Longlegs. If you can't pick up on what the film's about, I would think the title gives it away, but if you can't figure it out, don't watch this video. So don't watch at this point. But in talking about the trailer now, spoilers again, this pretty much confirms my suspicions of the plot line. With the girl being the FBI detective that we're following being connected to Nicolas Cage's character, like a daughter of a cult, somehow escaped the cult, and she's, trying to live off, a private life. Somehow her past comes back to haunt her, and now she has a chance to find closure, specifically, And again, you have to think about the title. Like, think about what's missing from the title when it's just called Longlegs. It's Daddy Longlegs. That's what's missing, guys. Remember that. So it's just smoke and mirrors, and I think it's very obvious as to what's going on. Because even now with this trailer, this just feels to me to be more fueled by style than substance. Like, it's really positioning itself in more disturbance than intrigue for me. Likely going for shock value because there's like multiple sequences of people cutting themselves open repeatedly. I don't find the appeal outside of maybe what Nicolas Cage might bring. Because lately he's made some fascinating choices, with Pig and Mandy. So I'd be curious maybe just for him, but I more than likely will skip out on this. Because for the longest time, I have always known what this movie would be. And now with this trailer coming out, it pretty much just shows its hand to us. So yeah, so I would avoid this trailer if you guys, if you've listened to what I've said, you pretty much are spoiled. Yeah, like try to avoid this trailer, and maybe forget what I said if you just decide to listen to what I've said, because I think it gives away quite a bit. So, or at least makes things more apparent than they were before. So, but yeah, not really that crazy about it. I mean, aesthetically it seems interesting, but I don't like the positioning of those aesthetics. I don't like the positioning of its style, taking more priority than the substance, the meat of its story, it seems. Um, so yeah, not really that interested, but we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. Maybe it might turn out something. Maybe it might be something really, really great. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to be it for this week's news roundup. Thank you guys for tuning in. A little bit of a quick one for this week. You guys let me know your thoughts on some of these topics for today regarding Steven Spielberg, the Longlegs trailer. I know there was a Beetlejuice trailer, but I just didn't care to watch it. Don't care for Beetlejuice, really. So, your thoughts on Megalopolis, Deadpool's ticket sales. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry if I seem a little just rushed. I don't know. I got a little anxious at some time recording this video, so sorry about that. But you guys will know all your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.